We are back, starting game number 6 of day 6 of ALGS. So, in case you're just tuning in, haven't seen the last couple days, LG is coming off a back-to-back win, and they are 31 points ahead of second place. So LG is all but guaranteed first place on the day, which will shake up the final standings quite a bit. Huge impact from them. Sweet's shot calling has been absolutely nuts. The call last game to take up so much space in that end game, and for all players to execute, play that safely, but apply that much pressure at the same time, was an absolutely incredible play. That's why Sweet is one of the greatest of all time. They can basically AFK this game and get first, but obviously that's not the case. I know Sweet, he's going to be going for that three-peat. He wants the 3 in a row, and almost an identical zone to last game. Wow. This zone is really almost identical to the one that we just saw. So last game finished right in front here, right about here. It was right about here, on the hillside with one rock, and LG clutched it out at the end to win. They were in a 3v3, one got knocked, but they got the reset, while Sykes applied a lot of pressure, and they ended up taking the W there. Absolutely incredible game from them. Almost an identical zone. Hopefully C9 plays this a little better than they did last game, because this zone is their drop spot. It's really in favor for them. They don't have to move far. They have lots of loot at Overlook, so they can kind of just post up. But they tried to play the tunnel, and they lost the 3v3 to Temper, and then Temper, without even getting a full reset, then 3v3 disguised right after. Temper had a really good game last game. I believe they also finished in the top 5, so they played incredibly well. So really well done to that squad as well. And hopefully C9 has a little bit of a stronger game this game. Furia looks like they're doing the same rotation as last game as well, just coming up behind. This time it doesn't look like Complexity is chasing them. Complexity really forced their hand last game, and it kind of put them into an awkward fight against Flat, in which they were eliminated, but they don't have to worry about that now. But now Complexity is getting pressured by this team right above Geyser, and might get a knock in the air. Looks like a low health bar, but Monsoon and him will hit the Geyser, and it looks like at the end of the day they will be okay. Loon Complexity also rotating from the entirely other side this game.
You know what I mean? Like, just shoot with the other guys. Maybe that's my slightly selfish gameplay.
Maybe they want to take a look at these buildings early. Before second zone, all of these buildings were occupied last game. Teams recognizing where it's going to end, where it's going to pull, and putting a ton of effort into taking it early. And now LG going to be fighting Stallions again. Really big nade from Stallions. Now Funk is going to have to buy some time for his teammates to heal. Got to play safe. No scan for 15. He's going to play the roof and challenge. And Funk is going to get the knock. Really well done. He has time to reset. No need to rush. It's a 3v2. And he's going to thirst and hot swap. Sykes has this high ground, so they have all the control they need. And that's going to be a clean wipe for LG. And every second this game continues, the less likely LG is dethroned. Like I said at the start, they can basically AFK. They're guaranteed first place at this point. And it is Temper playing the same spot. So LG and Temper in the same spot in back-to-back games. Really crazy. Let's see if they both get the same result this game as well. Fingers crossed for both those teams. Hopefully they have a good performance. Now we're on board with Moist. Hopefully Moist can connect some points here. Only 18 after 5 games, just averaging over a couple points a game. Really not ideal. We really wanted a big performance from them, but it looks like their playoffs are kind of going to be hanging in the balance after today then, because they're not going to be in that top 5. Not going to get those really sought-after playoff points. And now T-Law wiping Bleed, and that is huge for the standing. Absolutely massive, because T-Law is in second, and Bleed was only 7 points behind them in 5th. So Bleed will now be out of top 5 contention as long as Native has a decent game. To be honest, that might be incredibly detrimental for Bleed. They might drop down to around 8, depending on how the other teams play. Really not good for Bleed. Fluffy looking to have a nice game. They had a really good start to the day. Second place was, I think, like 8 KP, but they've been dying early every single game since, so still only 24 points after 5. So really hoping they have a good game here. They can hop up a few places. And Disguised. Looking to play the tunnel. They played last game and lost the fight on the stairs. At least Temper's not there at the moment, so they shouldn't have to fight them again. Hopefully they get a little more control this time and get a chance to fight another 3v3.
More solid position for them to play from for the rest of this
Designful was holding the top stairs last game, but got swung and really didn't have a reaction. I think he was shooting someone other than the guy who swung him, so he got one clipped really quickly on those stairs. But now they're a little more established. They have a little more information, so it should be a little bit easier of a hold. It doesn't look like quite an identical zone. Looks like it's going to be pulling a little farther south. Last time it ended right above Cloud 9 here, but now I think the pull's a little more central to this building area. So last 2 zones should have a lot more teams than last game, because there's a lot more playable buildings now. LG shouldn't be able to frag as much because there's less open space, but obviously that doesn't stop them from looking. They're kind of coexisting with Temper and Complexity right now. Looks like Complexity and LG are trading shots with Temper on the low ground. So let's see if Temper tries to third, or everyone kind of just handshakes and coexists. Maybe a little swing here from LG.
Or down the little slope in front of them.
But Sweet looks pretty calm. I don't think they want to press the issue at all.
Are in a pretty good spot here. If they can wrap up and take an opportunity of anyone who might create a third party from like a Temper Complexity fight.
Furia also more established. Now, last game Furia died on the rotation, had a really tough start to the game, but look a little more established. And now it's going to be flat. One is knocked by Reeds. It sounds like they're nading out the door, but no, not quite. The nade comes later, but it's reinforced. And he gets re-knocked. They came through the top of the building, and that should be it for flat. I don't see a world which they really get to reset here. But Reeds is playing quite passive. It looks like there's a third team looking, and that might actually give them the ticket they need. Reeds has the wrong peek coming through the door and gets absolutely punished. And now flat in a 3v2. Gotta be careful of the nades here. Gonna full reset, but Big Louie being re-knocked 2 times in a row. And Cusa re-knocks Reed. This fight going on this long is pretty crazy. I think one team just needs to commit, or they're both going to die to other teams here. But it's such an awkward spot, and it's really hard to do that committal safety without just getting clean wiped after. So really going to try and control this flat floor again, and Louis finally gets thirsted, so they will not get another reset. Gonna get the scan as he swings, gonna try and fight, not a lot of damage down, and they are double broken. Nano might try and run here, but I also don't think he'll last much longer, and flat is eliminated. EEC picking up one of those exit kills, and now they will be in a decent spot.
If not maybe 16th here with that death. So that is going to be a sad situation for them. Now, the teams who have found themselves in No Name, Furia Empire.
Situation for them.
Eternal EC, they have that 1 KP, that 69 damage, and McLovin. Vibes are high on EEC, even if they're only at 16 points. They're legends in their own right. 69 damage, 1 kill. McLovin on Bloodhound. They're living life. They're live, laugh, loving. And they cannot be stopped. But they are going to run into Moist here. And it looks like they don't even know. Moist had a little bit of an advantage, but it looks like EEC noticed them at the last second. But they do have the fuse, going to be able to clusterfuck. I do think ulting this is a decent call, and it'll allow you to swing, but you can't eat it in zone. Gonna be pressured. Nice break onto the cat, but she's gonna Enas away. Now Moist needs to take space. They don't want to be sitting at this edge zone for long. They want to wipe this fight, and then they want to establish themselves in zone. They don't want this to go too long. Other teams are going to get involved. And just like I said, TSM now walking up, taking space, and looking for an angle. They do get pressured back. Good discipline by EEC and Moist to not give TSM an angle. TSM is getting shot in the back from the houses. And now Moist will start walking up for EEC. Healthy enough to not need to reset, and gets the height angle. Really nice getting shot by TSM, but now he can reset on the low ground, and they do have a 3v2. But most important here is not going down, because if they go down, TSM does have a free wipe on this. So really important, just playing your life. Good discipline by Moist Esports here. And EEC now going to get punished by TSM, but Zap also still getting shot in the back. If Moist chooses to swing here, they could also punish TSM. So everybody's kind of playing on a knife edge right now. First one to get knocked is really risking their team's game. And really nice shots from Zap there. 60 white on one of the members of Moist, and they are going to be resetting, and 118! Really nice shots from Zap. But now we have an issue. Zap is going to be at 1 cell, 1 battery going into this mid game, so they really do need a wipe. They really do need a kill and a chance to loot. And Moist is going to re-knock Danny. And Burrows knows. He smells the blood. T-Law also going down in the kill feed while this fight is happening. And Verhulst really trying to work this team. They did get the res. He's taking damage, and he's going to get knocked here. He does live. He manages to drop. And now M&K, that is Reps, going to help him out. And this final member might die to zone, going to slide in. But Reps will finish him off. I think Zap should be able to crawl in and get rezzed. So TSM actually does get this reset. And it looks like Moist might have slid in during that. Or got wiped by a zone team. I didn't see them in the kill feed though, so I do believe Moist is still alive. No, they did end up getting wiped. I would like to see a replay from Moist's POV and see how they ended up going down there, because I believe they had a wipe or a knock onto. Oh my god. Sorry, so much going on. I believe they had a knock, and then they end up getting wiped, so not sure how the end of that fight actually ended up playing out. Oh, Furia still alive. Good for them. Snipe down also eliminated. Native Gaming out for this game. Gives us 4 POVs. We got mainstream LG, another wipe onto C9, and that's 2 games where C9 has a zone but goes out pretty early. Really tough day for C9. They are not looking good for playoffs right now. They do have a rat, maybe can get some placement points, but not going to be good in the long term in the slightest. LG looking to walk through on this low ground. This is a nice little groove in the ground here that makes it really hard for the height teams to see them. And LG's going to take this. If they can hold this till late, they're going to be, I mean, they have a chance for the three-peat. Now, they might get naded out if multiple teams choose to focus them. But if they can hold their space, there is a world. And boy, would I love to see the three-peat, especially from LG and Sweet. I love it. I love Sweet. I loved his shot calling. I think he is one of the best to do it. And so I really, really hope this game pans out for them. But now, Madness gonna try and find safety from this bang ult, and now they're gonna redeploy. Too many people rotating and already fighting, so they don't actually get shot out of the air as much as you'd think they would in this final zone. And DSG is going to be relegated to the low ground. And one knock over to LG onto Disguise. Going to be resetting. Sweet has a disgusting angle. Good job not over peeking. He needs to climb back up and heal. Trust that his teammates are going to heal him. But they don't want to throw this game for a couple KP. Already at 9 KP this game, 88 points on the day. They might be looking at triple digits. And how incredible would that be if we had a triple digit game? It's been a long time since we've seen that in the ALGS, but leave it up to LG to deliver. I think them and Falcons are the only teams dominant enough to be able to pull that off these days. But, of course, not in the same lobby today. This is B vs C, so I don't have to worry about that head-on-head. Furia going to be trying to outweight these Skynades. They do actually have a decent amount of playable space and some decent head glitches. I think LG just needs to relax a little bit, heal up, and then play on that next zone pull. They know they're in. They just have to watch a team like Furia and make sure that they don't take. Reeds and Oblivion in third. This is also important. As we remember, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, we're all close together, so this is still an important game for them. If they go out early here, there's a chance another team overtakes them and then has more gets more of the playoff points on the day. So it's really, really important that they don't go down here. Quick little 35 damage. Reeds does have his ult available as well. No real need to use it right now. Can hold it for a little longer. Gonna see if they can sit in the corner of their building, but they are coexisting with T-Law and teams behind them. So they are in a little bit of an awkward spot. Gonna scan there. Now that upper level is open. That's pretty big. That allows Oblivion a lot of space. They're gonna walk up here. Lots of smokes down. This Bloodhound ult is gonna give them great results. And they're going to go play the far side of the zone, and they don't get shot in the back. But absolutely beautiful angle from Reed, finding that KP. If he had a nade, he could do some real damage in that building, but doesn't have it. Now Akimbo is going to drop that generator, going to drop the fence, and they're going to be able to take this outer area. But they are getting traded. They have one knocked in Blink, and I think they won't get a chance to reset. I think if they reset, it's a misplay by the inner team. Yeah, they do have to leave. They want to play for placement. Blink will be alone and die. And I believe LG is still alive. No, LG has just been wiped in 4th place, it looks like. So they will not be a triple win back-to-back. But still an amazing performance on the day. Still guaranteed 1st place. And let's see if TSM can finally establish themselves today. They are in 10th place right now, so a win here is going to be big. It's going to give them some bonus points and maybe get them 8th or 7th, but that's going to be big for playoff points, so they still do need to place as high as possible here. It's going to be one trio and one double duo against TSM. And they are getting Skynade, a beautiful nade, just wipes Reed into zone where he's instantly killed. And this team, is that Tempest? Is gonna get the wipe, but TSM has such a god position here. I don't see a world where TSM loses this, especially with the Devo. And they come in, kill on the corner, and they will finish 9th place. NG and L looks like they'll finish 4th. Now let's just look for those final score updates. I'm really sad LG didn't get the 3 wins in a row, but still 3 insane performances on World's Edge, giving them the 1st place on the day. And does look like we're updated. TSM 1st place with 14 kills. Huge game from them. Very, very slow day until Game 6, so those 26 points will be huge. NGNL, another good performance, 14 points. Oblivion with 9. T-Law with 13, and LG with another 13. And so that'll bring us LG taking first place by 31 points. Absolutely dominant. If you look at the overall leaderboards, the average placement between the top teams is all 7th or 8th, but the big difference is the frags. So the fact that they can pick up almost 50 frags on the day is huge for LG. T-Law still holding down second. Oblivion beating out NG and L by 1 point. 1 kill. They will take third. So NG and L fourth, and Temper, pretty good series on World's Edge for them. They'll take fifth. Bleed kind of getting lucky and only dropping 1 point to 6. There's a lot of teams in striking distance, as you can see, 7th, 8th, 9th. So kind of lucky they didn't drop farther, but they did play very well on Storm Point today. So that'll wrap up Match Day Game 6 of ALGS. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys